Toxic masculinity topic for today on this channel, Lion Spirit. My name is Julian. Welcome to the jungle. Okay. Yeah, I told you. Today I want to talk toxic masculinity. Right. See, it's easy nowadays to find a lot of examples for toxic masculinity, and it's very hard to find people who are great role models, who are masculine and non-toxic. So let's get started. I want to introduce the topic to you by referring to two very masculine persons. You have to accept that they are masculine. It's objectively right. It's not no discussion right there, you know. And I will start with the one you cannot decide the more you cannot refuse his masculinity the most. Whatever. His name is David Goggins, a motivational speaker, former Navy SEAL, etc., 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 etc. And he is, of course, very successful if you're considering money, but, money, who cares about money, right? David Goggins still works as a firefighter that jumps with a goddamn parachute out of a flying, a plane, and then with all the equipment, and then he fights the fires in America. For $15 per hour he's doing this job. And people will say, hey, so stupid, why is he doing this? Why is he still working? People, I know these people don't watch my stream anyway, so I don't have to explain this, We don't care too much for that shit, right? We doing it like him. Okay. David Goggins. Yeah. See, you cannot deny his masculinity because he's in a like 47 years or something. I don't know, maybe even in his 50s. I'm not quite sure. But he is incredibly fit. He holds records he made a pull-up record, maybe it has been broken. Most pull-ups in 12 hours, so he is working with willpower, which means he goes long distances, He's not doing the record for pull-ups in one set, which is, what is the record? In one set? I don't know. I cannot remember exactly, but I think it could be 100 or something. And he did a few thousand in 12 hours, 3,000, and the new record is more. I don't know exactly. But what I think is even more impressive, he is the only person who ever finished 3 different hell weeks or 3 different testimonials in order to get into 3 different special units of the American Army. So Rangers, Navy SEALs, and another one. And he was afraid of water. What is David Goggins doing in order to get rid of his fear of water? Let's go to the Navy SEALs. And this is the man. And see, and what I find even also very impressive is that he finished the Blackwater race, so-called Blackwater race. I think it's one of the hardest 130-mile races in the world, and it goes through the Death Valley in America in the summertime, and it's one race you do it in one run, and he runs like 23 hours or something. And he finished 3rd as a 190-pound man in this age. insane. And yeah, and also, yeah, he's really very famous now, and even UFC fighters challenged him, who are toxic themselves or who would have ended as toxic male individuals if they would not have that way to live out all their demons in the MMA world. One of them who challenged him, the one who challenged him, is John Strickland. And John Strickland, if he would not have the ability to punch in the gym every day and train and so and so and so. By the way, he fights this weekend versus Paddy Pimblett. If he would not have that chance, like a lot of other young people have the chance to go to the military, men, in order to live out their energy, their demons. And this is why they don't go to jail, okay? They go to military, to the army. And they need this to live out this energy they have. Okay? So, David Goggins, alright. And he is a personality, and you can cut away from him a slice for yourself. This is a German saying, maybe in in English too. Cut away as much as you can digest of him, because it's not for everybody. His lifestyle is not for everybody, but he's very inspiring to me, and I cut up as much as I possibly can. You know, through him I adopted this philosophy to never plan a day off. You know, you don't plan and say, oh, on this day I make a day off. No, you don't make days off. Days off come by themselves. You don't have to plan them. You do every day something, better than nothing, okay? So I rather do more than less. And I also trust more in this, that my body can bear it, you know, that mind over matter, mind over the body, you know. All right, so you cut away as much as you can, and that's it. Okay, next person. So David Goggins, you cannot deny him in the physical realm, otherwise you have to finish faster than him in the 130-mile race, or you have to do more pull-ups. If you do this, you can question him. So next one, he cannot be questioned too, because he is David Goggins in the realm of philosophy. I'm talking of Friedrich Nietzsche, of course. He destroyed all philosophers behind him in the timeline and before him in the future, you know. And he did this for the greater good. He said basically that philosophers always have been people in all times that were rather physically weak and had a bad health condition, including himself, but he lived the hardest life ever. He lived the hardest life ever. But at the same time, he proved his own philosophy, you know. He proved that he is that strong. So he walked his talk 100%. And this is what made him burst at some point, actually, probably, when he broke down. Mentally, physically, completely. All right, but he claimed that all philosophers ever have had were disadvantaged with a body, with, physically in life in some way, health-wise, and this is why they revenge themselves on life. And they also, Aristoteles, he introduced dialectics and took away the power of the strong, of the ruling people that ruled with their body, with their mind, with their energy, with the masculinity. They just took it. The conquerors, the Greek strong heroes. It was all positive. There was not this what we have today, this guilty, this is wrong, don't do this, don't do that. No, not this kind of morality. You have to understand there were different times than what we live in today. All right. So Nietzsche destroyed all this and freed the people. He wants to free us. He wants to free our mind, and he understood The old philosophy is tightening us in, squeezing us. You know, it's like we can't move anymore because this is wrong, this is not wrong, this we can't do this, and this is, you know. Okay, so 10 minutes in, just introduce this topic. I have to hurry up now. Okay, so you cannot deny Nietzsche. Nietzsche's philosophy is kind of a thorny jungle, a circle that is very hard to penetrate. You have to read all of, you have to read all of his stuff, and you have to be willing to understand him. You have to respect him. You have to understand he is not a bad person. He is not an enemy of women. He is not an enemy of anything, and he is not a Nazi. No way. And if you read everything from him, you can start read it again, and then you get a clue of what he's really saying. Okay? Good. And cut away from him as much as you can digest. Sometimes you read one sentence and you can think about it the whole day. Alright. These are two very masculine persons. And if you want another person that is non-toxic masculinity, think about Bruce Lee. Alright. Now, if you want to see what the male behavior, the animalistic, prehistoric behavior is, you have to watch a modern soccer game. If the referee tells one of the players, gives him a yellow card, in 99.9% the players will run and spit on the ground. They will spit on the ground. If the referee says, you give the ball to the other player, they will spit on the ground. Check it out. Why do they do it? It's a ritual. It is a ritual of men. Women don't do it. And it shows I have no fear because I'm liquid here, you know. If you have fear, your mouth gets dry. I have no fear of you. You tell me nothing. And I'm healthy. Because if this stuff, how is it called in English? I don't know. If it was yellow or red, you might be sick and the others will see it. And then they go on you like sharks and tear you apart. But if it's clean, you're healthy, you're strong, you're liquid, you're ready, let's go. I'm fluent, you know. No fear. Okay, it's a ritual. And this is, you can observe it in the young guys out there who are not educated by their parents. They're spitting on the ground all the time. They want to disrespect someone. It is there. It's disrespectful. I want to clap them and they do. No, I don't. I'm not toxic. And yeah, we have this behavior. And we have a hierarchy in male society. This alpha male, you know, everybody thinks in this hierarchy. But you can step out. If you're not in the hierarchy, if you deny it, we call it sigma male, you can check it out. But remember, hierarchy, alpha, sigma, beta, gamma, whatever, it's not all that determines the role of a man in society. It's just, let me call it a thought experiment, a mind trick that people play. You don't have to take it too serious. It's all bullshit actually, alright? Let me get a coffee, even though I want to hurry up and get it real quick. Man, that's so terrible. So, okay, stay focused. We have the toxic topic today, and yeah, I once made an experiment, and I have two experiences with stepping out of this hierarchy. You know, I never live in this hierarchy anyway because I do my own thing. I'm not in competition with these guys. And once I tested it intentionally. I went into the city, went walking, I was looking flashy. It was a summer day and I just wanted to check how people react to me in general. And then I was going out. I was just going for a walk, and there was one guy, and he had his girlfriend with him, and they were like on from a magazine, like strong guy, Barbie with him, this Barbie girlfriend, and he stared at me with open mouth, and he could not say a thing. Why? Because I was not fitting in the category. I was not below him in status. I was not above him in status. So he didn't know what to do. But I looked at him, I smiled at him, I said hello to them. And he was not ready for it. He was not ready for this, someone who did not fit in. So he didn't know, should he respect me or should he disrespect me? He didn't know. He stared at me. It was strange. All right, another time in the train, there was a boy who was, the train was full, everything was stacked, people were stacked. But this guy, he sat there and there was two, next to him, it was free, nobody, it was like he had an aura and nobody entered it. Well, what do? I just sit there, but I put my bike on somewhere and then I sit next to him. And then he gets even more nervous, very nervous, and I just try to not take his energy. Don't make eye contact with anyone, by the way. If you go in the city, in a public situation, you make eye contact once. People dump all kinds of shit and energy on you. You make eye contact once and that's it. Stay with yourself. Stay centered. You do your thing. Right? And then he started offering something to me because he was eating sweets. And then they gave me, and I said, no. And yeah, he got more and more nervous because he also didn't know, what is this? Nobody dared to sit next to me. And now this guy, he just chills next to me. And then another Jezebel spirit woman came and she flirted with both of us, kind of. And man, I didn't want to go on these mind games because I had a hard working day behind me. And then I had to go to my bike, fortunately, and I just went to my bike because somebody had to take his bike and my bike blocked it, whatever. And then this woman, she sat next to him and then he calmed down. Man, but I'm telling you, all kinds of strange things happen and people staring when you are not in this hierarchy, if you're not respecting this hierarchy. But it's better to step out and not play these games, We deserve better than this stupid game, right? Okay. So, another topic I want to talk about is, what if you get into trouble with a man or more of them? They will try to check out whether you are a victim or not. So they will run a mind game, they will diss you, they will try to humiliate you, they will say something to you, they try to trigger you, and then they will immediately find out whether you go into a defensive victim role, you start shaking maybe, you make yourself small, you're afraid, you show fear, and then you already lost. But if they are not successful with putting this game on you, if you as told you, don't make eye contact, you make it once, you take a snapshot, that's it. But because if you start looking back and forth, there's a strange one, someone who is scary, someone who, whatever, if you start looking again, this is how the game starts. Don't do it. Stay with yourself. But if they still penetrate you, if they think they have to be evasive, people nowadays are crazy, they don't stop punching you even if you're on the ground, bringing weapons to this, cowards, they're cowards. And they don't want to fight actually, they are not looking for a fight. They are looking to humiliate a person. They are looking for a first punch to knock you cold out or something like that, to just and what they do is insecurity. It's a display of insecurity and feeling a lack of something that they have to make up for. This is not true confidence, what they show. True confidence means you are calm and chilling and you are not attacking anyone. This is confidence. What they have is insecurity, the feeling of a lack. And if you know this, it might help you to stay confident, to try to not play their game and de-escalate the situation. But physically you have to stay out of range of them, of the range of one punch, because this is what they will try to do. They put this game on you. Hey, what you want? What you want? Yeah. Hey, don't touch me. Stay away from me. And if they stand in front of you, you put your head like this, because if you look like that, they can give you that headbutt, right? So you stand like this, okay? If you can, but you don't want to be close to them. You want to go in a distance, and you want to communicate to the other people around you. Hey, I don't want trouble. I don't want trouble. Stay away from me, you know? I don't want trouble. Step back, step back, step back, and be loud so that other people are witnesses. Because afterwards, if you defend yourself, then the police, they will say, oh, you were the aggressor. No, you have to show the people around you, these are the aggressors. I don't want trouble. Okay? Step back. And if you can, if these guys are more than you, if they have weapons, try to go away, try to run away. But if you have to fight, you have to fight, right? So, head down so you don't get your nose crushed with a headbutt, and step back. Step back, no trouble. Stay away, don't touch me. Right? Step back. Yeah. That's it. Let me go through what we have, because I really rushed it through now. So we have the rituals, the masculinity bullshit, the Jezebel spirit. Yeah, of course, the women, they try to play with these hierarchies, you know. But I think it's better to step out, don't participate in this game. You know, we don't want these women who want to be conquered by the one who wins in a stupid game with stupid guys. No, you know, consciousness is key, I think, right? I mean, I have no idea. Who am I? Okay. Yeah, that's it, my friend, my people. Toxic masculinity. I will make another video about it, I think, but this was the introduction. I spontaneously decided this. People, I got work to do. I gotta go on, I gotta move on, I gotta do something else. Let's go. Have a safe day. Stay intoxic.